What's up people? It's been a month since my last upload and we're going to finally find out in this video today what is exactly wrong with my rare 2.3 V5 Volkswagen Beetle. As you can see, the Christmas lights are still on this, so we need to get those off first because it's now February. We've got a load of spare parts behind me in my Have a Go Hero toolbox, and we're going to get a good walk around the car to see exactly what still needs doing, because we got some important meets coming up and some more information as well coming up at the end of the video. So stick around for that, because you're not going to want to miss what I've got to tell you at the end of the video of where I'm going to be DJing with my little Beetle at the end of March. So let's get these lights off the car. Alright then, whilst we leave Craig in the workshop taking off those Christmas lights, let me tell you how this Beetle ended up with me, and trust me, it's a pretty mad story actually. So a few months back, I was scrolling on Facebook Marketplace looking for parts for another project car that I actually got. Then I stumbled across a certain listing. So the listing was for some bucket seats. Me being me, I thought, okay, cool, I'll give this profile a call. It just so happened it was a guy called Dave, who was an independent breaker scrapyard guy. Anyway, we're on the phone, we're talking away. We got onto the subject of Volkswagens and dubs in general, how I used to go to festivals and I love all the old school Beetles and blah, 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 blah. But there was always one Beetle I was looking for, which was the new shape V5 Sport. But I kind of understood that they're quite rare, you can't really find them. He turns around and goes, funny you should say that. I've actually got one here right now. I was just about to break it for parts. Okay, what's wrong with it? How much are you looking for? This guy then wasn't really too sure what he was looking for the car. He then said, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to Bristol Copart tomorrow to pick up another car. I got room on the back of the truck, so if you want, I'll bring it with me. You can test drive it. If you like it, we'll hash a deal out. So I was like, okay. So fast forward 24 hours, and all of a sudden this guy turns up after driving 3.5 hours to come and meet me at my unit. And on the back of his truck was this very tired looking silver Volkswagen Beetle. He rolled it off the back of his truck, turned the key, started first time. So I took it down the road, had a little drive, opened it up, see if it was okay, and before we know it, we negotiated a deal. Before I continue the rest of the story, let's see how Craig's getting on back at the unit. Okay, cool, he's still going. So, I bought this car randomly off a guy, off the internet. He's driven it to me, he's dropped it off. I'm looking outside and I'm going, oh God, that's a money pit, what have I done? So of course, I go ahead and make my first video for you guys with the project car, introducing the V5 Sport. Shortly after I made that video and posted it, I posted it in a lot of Facebook groups as well. One group in particular was the V5 owners group, and a guy called Matt messaged me instantly and said, mate, you do realise that Beetle you just bought, it's been slammed around the Nürburgring, and I know the previous owner. And I was like, what? You're joking me? I had to know more. So with the help from Matt from the V5 owners group, he helped me track down the previous owner, which is a guy called Mark. I then got on a phone call with Mark, and he turned around and said to me, oh yeah, we do this thing every single year where myself and a few mates, we call it 6 lads, 3 bangers. We just buy random cars and we go out across Europe and do road trips. So we found this Beetle. I'll tell you what, there's a little video. Check this out.
Beetle here, it's 0.3 litre, 170 brake horsepower, picked up from Ipswich. It's got a few problems. We've got a snapped coil spring on the right hand front side. Driver's side window don't work, boot's a bit temperamental.
How much paid for it?
800 quid, and then we put 60 quid into it, so £160 running total.
Lovely.
So Mark, being a legend that he is, continued to tell me that the fact of he paid only £800 for this Beetle, they took it to the Nürburgring and they almost crashed it at 110 miles per hour because of serious brake fade. But even though that happened, it still set the fastest lap time out of all the guys with 11 minutes and 10 seconds. For God's sake, it's got eyelashes on the thing. So let's just recap. The car's been saved from the scrapyard 3 times now, driven all over Europe including Amsterdam, raced around the Nürburgring, and now it's mine. So it's clear to say that this car has got a lot of cool history. I can feel a plan coming on here, and I think you can see where I'm coming from. But first, let's get to work with the rest of the car, shall we? Christmas lights have been removed from the car. Now it's time to give you a proper walk around of the car and tell you exactly what's wrong with it, what needs fixing, and what I hate about it. Let's have a quick look around the car. So unfortunately with the car, it's got a few battle scars along the way. There's a pretty hefty big dent just about there. That's got to be fixed. Headlights are still looking horrible. We've got loads of body scrapes all the way down the car, and someone clearly couldn't drive because they've caught the sill as well, which is not good. I hate the tint from here as well. The spoiler still needs attention because it's, yeah, shit. The roof has loads of dents in it as well. There's one just here. The alloys still look good. I just think they need a bit of a clean, maybe a mini refurb. More bodywork issues. There are gouges in the door. Just not good, man. Scratches on the door handles. We've got more scratches. We need some new plates. More scratches, scratches, scratches. Just so many scratches. On some areas, we have corrosion just here. Inside the car as well, of course, we have the saggy headlining, so that needs to be fixed. And I think just a little bit of a bring up-to-date modernization. Do we change the head unit? I'm not too sure. Steering wheel, maybe a Mark IV steering wheel, like Alcantara upgrade, I don't know. In general, not looking too bad in here. Even the seats are looking good. There's not bad for 20-year-old seats. But ultimately, the car is looking a little bit tired. It's 20 years old. It needs some love. It needs some body work. And because we own a wrap business, should we wrap the car? Do we talk about colors now or should we talk about it later? After realizing how much this car is going to cost me, I called it a night. It's time to get ready for the next day. Day 2, back in the unit. The Christmas lights took a lot longer taking off than I anticipated. So today we're going to crack on with the rest of the car. Now, as Home Studio Craig told you already, this car has been to the Nürburgring before on a lad's holiday. So it's been absolutely thrashed around the Nürburgring. And I think the old oil is still in the car from then. So we need to get this thing nice and warm, up to temperature, and get some engine flush in, drop the oil, change the filters, and get some nice QX oil in there as well. So first up, spin the car around, open the big door, so I don't fancy gassing myself with the exhaust gases. We'll start changing some parts over. Cool, let's flip the car around. So with much thanks to Ali at AGP Auto Service, he helped me out and gave me a bottle of Forte Motor Flush. Forte Motor Flush is a cleaning product designed to remove sludge, varnish and lacquer deposits from the inside of an engine, essentially cleaning the engine components like piston rings, valve lifters and oil passages. Now all we got to do is get this engine up to temperature, make sure it's left to run for about a good 10 to 15 minutes to make sure that engine flush gets into all of the nooks and crannies of the engine, and then we're going to jack the car up, get it on the axle stands and drop the oil. I don't know if you actually noticed as well, but every single time I start the engine up, it makes that really annoying, how are we going to make the noise? It does that. When every time you start it up, it goes. That's the starter motor overrunning, so that's something we need to fix as well at a later date. But anyway, the timer's running, 15 minutes, get this oil and the engine flush circulating around the engine, and we're gonna get it nice and warm, and then we're gonna drop the oil. Now already I'm a little bit concerned because as I've jacked up, there's a little wet spot there, which I think is oil. Let's get this under tray off so we can access the filter and everything. Oh my God, this under tray has been absolutely butchered. Look at the state of it. Super simple to get the under tray off, just a few torque screws and away it comes. Looks like I've got a little bit of a leakage from somewhere. Oh, I don't want an oil leak. I am going to be so much happier when I'm able to afford a ramp. So if you're enjoying watching me struggle, please make sure you go like, subscribe, share the content, do whatever you want to do, because I need to buy a ramp. This is tight. And I'm a big boy. Let's get this oil out. Oh, who's done this? Way too tight. Oh, this is gonna get really messy, isn't it? My first ever. Here we go, here we go. Am I gonna make a mess? I think I am, aren't I? Ah, it's really hot. It's so hot. Because the engine's hot, because of the engine flush. Don't wanna make a massive mess, but I think that's gonna happen, isn't it? Is that directly underneath it? Just making sure. I can feed it. It's good, here it comes. Here we go. Oh my God! Oh, why is it over there? Oh no, it's everywhere. Oh God. Yep. That's what? Oh, why did I put my hand in? Oh, and again! It's all over my hand. Oh my God, is this oil pan big enough? I hope so. Right, I've done it again. Why do I keep doing it? There we go. It's oil everywhere. Oh, it's on my gimbal now. Oh my God, there's so much oil everywhere. That is absolutely brimmed. Now, I just want to say, bear in mind, I've never done this before. That's all right. It's a bit dark, so definitely it's old. Let's get that filter off and put some new oil in, shall we? You're not going to be able to see me in a minute. Here's I've gone and borrowed a second oil pan. here because there's oil trapped in the filter. And now I'm gonna take off this oil filter. Oh, squeak. Just gonna chuck a little oil over me again as well. Any minute now. Oh my God. Oh, that's the other hand. Gross. However, I believe we've just found the issue. Let me show you this filter. Let me stop the video and bring you out and show you this filter. If I drag out this and you look at the state of that filter, that is nasty. That is a bad oil filter. So I've been and got myself a man oil filter, and as you can see from the old one compared to the new one, it is completely different. So we just need to add it into the oil filter housing, and then we just fit it straight back into the car. This needs 4.7 litres of oil to get it back to optimal, where it needs to be. And let's see if I've got the skills with the pour. This is 5 litres, so what's 0.3 of a litre going to do? So I might as well just empty the whole thing into it, right? I bet there's people screaming at home going, no, don't do that. Well, it's my car, it's not yours. Let's get this back on the ground. Okay, have I ballsed it up? I'm going to leave you out there to see what it sounds like. Here we go. That sounds really good. That sounds really, really smooth. Like really smooth compared to what it used to be. So moving on to the next job, time to attack these horrible misty headlights. I picked up this Holt's headlight restoration kit from Motor Parts Direct. The kit comes with microfiber cloths, a buffing polishing pad, a tin of spray sealing and the abrasive polish as well, plus a selection of different grit sandpapers, plus the attachment that goes into your drill. It's quite simple. You work down the different grits of sandpaper, make sure to keep your headlights nice and wet so you don't scratch the lens of your headlight, and then you just work down through the different grits and apply the polish. I will warn you though, don't do like I did and sit right next to your car, because your car and your clothes and the surrounding area will get very, very messy. However, check out the results at the end. For a £12.50 kit, I highly recommend this kit from Motor Parts Direct. And of course, we got to give it a try with the lights on as well. Look how fresh and clean that looks. I don't know about you guys, but I think that looks 1,000 times better. I will actually be able to see it right now, but one thing that's still annoying me, so I want to bring this 20-year-old bug a little bit into modern day, is the halogen light bulbs. They are still that horrible halogen yellow, so we either got to look at a Xeon kit or even get some LED H1 light bulbs, and they're H1 for the full beam, H1 for the dip beam, and they're also H1 for the fog lights as well. Or do you think maybe we even go DLRs, daylight runners? Do we even get daylight runners in the bottoms? I don't know. Should we keep it like OEM? Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Okay, so next up, another big problem is my driver's window does not work. Now, I don't know what's going on, but when I turn the lights on, you can't really see it very well, but this one illuminates and this one doesn't. Now, I don't know if the actual window regulator has gone or someone's been into it, because the seal is some weird funky way up here and it's not been bolted in correctly. Has someone just not plugged it back in? Let's get the door card off. I have a spare secondhand brand new to me window regulator that I'm going to bring in if we do need it, but first let's investigate. To get your door cards off the Volkswagen Beetle, it's very simple. There's only 3 torque screws at the base of the door card, and because this one isn't bolted in behind the door handle, you can now start to just lift it away. Are you joking me? It's not plugged in. That is where my switch is there for my electric windows, and it's not plugged in. So I wonder if I just plug that in, if that will just spring into life. Okay, the window's not attached. We have found out why the window does not move with the regulator, and that is because the regulator has actually ripped itself off from the internal door structure, so the window regulator was just flapping around, and someone thought it was a good idea just to unplug it and be like, meh, that'll do. I mean, there lies the problem. it's just not attached at all whatsoever. That's ridiculous. So just before we actually put this into the car, I just want to check Yeah, boy, that works. Nice. Even though I like to think I know what I'm doing, I had to have a little bit of help, so I had to bring in the big guns. My wife is a mechanic. It won't go anywhere, I don't think. That'd be the last thing I'll say, won't it? Look! I think it works. I don't know why I brought it down so you can hear me because the microphone's here. But the issue was the window was getting stuck in the rubbers here. So whoever had this car previous to us has absolutely butchered it. This poor thing needs so much love. To be completely honest, I won't bore you with the details, but this door card and the rest of the mechanism on the inside did not go back together just in one go. Whoever worked on this door previously left so many broken parts, but we got there in the end, but it was a nightmare. That was horrible to do. So after getting some much needed rest, it was time to tackle more problems the following day. And this problem was a broken fuse. Now this fuse controls the internal cigarette lighters which charges my phone. As you can see, we got that fixed right away. So winning. On to the next job. I think my car deserves a nice big sun strip. First up, we need to make sure the area and the surface is nice and clean. And then we can apply the Avery Dennison matte black film to the windscreen. As you can see, I'm just stretching the film over the windscreen and pushing it into the corners with a firm squeege. Once I'm happy with one side, I then repeat the process on the other side, making sure to arc the vinyl over and keeping in line to my pre-marked areas with my masking tape. Once I'm happy my film has been pushed down to all of the areas, I then take a sharp blade and start cutting around the edge of the windscreen and pull away the excess. And just like that, all done. Now it's finally time to get the car out of the unit and see what we've accomplished. Already, after some basic maintenance, some simple repairs and a simple sun strip, I think the Beetle is really starting to come together. I know to anyone else it's just an old Beetle, but honestly, I love this car so much. And I'm really enjoying the project so far, and I can't wait to get some performance parts on this. However, at the start of the video, I told you I had an announcement, so let's get back to the studio and I'll tell you what's going on. The whole point of me in starting this YouTube channel was for me to combine the things that I love and things that I have passions for, and that was always and always will be fast cars, fast bikes, and DJing. I mean, I've been a DJ for such a long time. Why wouldn't I combine the two? I reached out to a few people, and one in particular got back to me. His name is Chiro, and he is the main guy behind Petrol Hedonism. We got talking, and we discovered that we have quite a bit in common. So Chiro gave me an opportunity, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I am getting to host my very own stage on the 29th and the 30th of March in Wembley for Petrol Hedonism Underground 2025. I mean, it's going to be crazy. Not only will you get to see me DJing live, but also joining me on my own stage, World DMC Champion JFB. He is insane. His skills are on another level. Also joining me, fresh from his recent win from Kiss FM Chosen One, mixed by Voxy Mobile, the guy has just DJ'd in Dubai. DJ James Bluck will be joining me on stage as well at Petrol Hedonism Underground 2025. Plus, in my section, we've got the max power cars, the fast and furious cars. It's gonna be insane. I cannot express how much fun this is going to be. And it gets even better from then, because after the show, we are then moving the party to Box Park, Wembley for an exclusive VIP afters. Make sure you get your tickets for Petrol Hedonism Underground and the VIP exclusive afters at Box Park, Wembley. The ticket link will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, drop a comment, and I will see you in Wembley on the 29th and the 30th of March. Till next time, catch you soon.